Welcome back, guys. Hope you are all doing alright. So we're back in Gothic 2 Night of the Raven, and we just given Greg some clothes. And this is a beautiful morning. You can actually see a flag in the distance. Now, what we're gonna do, so I'm gonna show you another of Gothic's game secrets. We're gonna sneak into the city. Yep, that's exactly right. So we're not gonna just talk to the guards just yet, because this route we're gonna take will net us more experience overall, so that's why we're gonna do it. I think it's gonna give us 500 extra experience points, more or less. So I want to touch on something real quick, because you're gonna see me struggling for a little bit, but it's possible. That's what I want to point out. So you can see this little ledge up here. You can actually climb out a bit of effort. So I really want to point out that I love Gothic 2's quest design. So we go from Xardas telling us about a huge freaking threat, right? And suddenly we're pulling turnips. I mean, we're going from fighting the sleeper to fetching a frying pan, which is honestly quite awesome game design. Now let's actually change the movement to... You have to basically hit this corner right here. It's not impossible. You can do it eventually. Might take you 10 tries, 20 tries until you hit the sweet spot. Okay, we finally made it. So that was the sweet spot if you wanna rewatch it again. And we finally made it into the city, and it's a really beautiful city. Now you see that armor guy down there in a full plate set. Yeah, we're gonna avoid that guy for now. We're actually gonna avoid all NPCs for now.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Now our goal is to get to the harbor town and talk to just one guy we are familiar with from Gothic 1. Now, as I said, loved Gothic 2's quest design. It's really humbling. Everything about the game is humbling. Everything can kill you easily, everything is dangerous, everything is just cut off right there for a second. Everything is just the perfect amount of difficulty.
I must be crazy. What are you doing here? Did you swim here?
All along.
That's one way to get past the guards at the city gate.
Hey Lars.
Hey Lars, you old scoundrel, how did you get here?
I was able to escape to the Valley of Mines just in time, together with Lee and some of the other boys. You remember Lee, don't you?
Of course.
I won't tell her a thing from now on.
Of course I remember Lee.
I got out of the colony with him then, just after the barrier was destroyed. He and his boys are now on the farm of NOTR, the landowner. He made a deal with the farmer. He and his boys defend the farm, and NOTR feeds them in return.
Simply talks too much.
Okay. So what we want to do just now, since we have
Now that's
a few
Hey, you!
skill points to spend, let's learn.
Can you teach me something?
Sure. I can help you become stronger and more dexterous if you like.
Let's learn a bit of strength, shall we?
Teach me something.
It's a bad business.
So we're gonna learn 4 strength points,
That's not what I
I
heard.
never knew that.
and then 5,
Don't tell
and
this to
then-
anyone.
that's it for now.
Good.
I hadn't
Your
seen it
strength
for
has
a
increased.
Completely.
Okay.
Take care of him.
So we should be at 24. So there's a sort of trick to Gothic to how it manages its skill points. This trick is fixed, by the way, in later Gothic mods like Gothic 2 Arcalos. So once you hit the level 30 in any stats, so like imagine that you're 30 in strength, it's gonna cost you double to learn 1 strength point. So in the range of 130, it's gonna cost you 1 point of okay, now I'm gonna try to jump up here so we can get out of the city. In the level range of 130 is gonna cost you 1 skill point, but after 30 it's gonna cost you 2 skill points until you reach 60. So it has incremental costs in certain level ranges. Alright, so there's a trick to it. Most Gothic 2 pros know this trick, and the trick is that if you skill everything to 29, okay, and then you skill 5, you expend 5 skill points, sorry, so you can get to level 34. It's gonna cost you only 5 skill points to get to level 44, so you'll save up some skill points in doing so, because if you're gonna do this at a 1-to-1 increase, so 29, 30, 41, 42, 43, 44, after you reach 30, it's gonna cost you double. So okay, do not die, please. It's gonna be embarrassing if you die right now. Oh yeah, we can actually get out of the city through here as well. So let's just try to climb this roof, I think. Can we quickly climb up here? Thank you. Okay, so this is the route we're gonna take. Now we gotta do a very careful jump down there so we do not die. That was not a careful jump, but we didn't die, so that is something. Okay. How much do we have? Well, we're gonna eat some stew. Why not? Because we got some stew in the process. Some fish soup, sure. And oh yeah, a couple of fried meats, I think. Yep, 52 and 64. Perfect. And because we also increased our strength, we can actually get a better weapon. Now this is basically a sword. It has the same range as any other sword. Now we're gonna save the game right here. City entrance. Now what we want to do at this point, oh, that's a weird moment of lag. Okay, I'm just gonna drop this pass. Okay, because we do not want to use the pass. Quick save the game. Now we're gonna talk to the guards over here.
Halt!
What is it?
You aren't getting in here, my boy.
Why not?
Looking the way you do, you're sure to cause nothing but trouble here, boy. And we got enough rabble in the city. We have no use for people without money.
Bye.
I need to see the leader of the paladins. I've got an important message for him.
Oh, and what important message might that be?
The city will soon be under attack.
What? By whom? The orcs? Have you seen our army?
No, but I've been sent by someone who saw them.
Who sent you?
I don't have permission to tell you that.
Don't act like that with me, boy. I'm a member of the city guard. You can tell me everything. So, who sent you?
A magician.
You have news from the magicians? Then surely you must have a seal as proof.
No,
What? The magicians always give their messengers a seal.
not this magician.
I don't believe you. If you're really a messenger, then spit out your news or clear off.
The army of evil is led by dragons.
What? That can't be true. And I came that close to letting you in. If you served up that story to Lord Hagen, he'd have handed me my head. Scram!
So you can say, I've come to join the militia.
I've come to join the militia.
That's a good one. Try that at the other gate. Maybe they'll buy that from you.
You can also bribe him. His friend is not going to say anything.
And what's up?
Now listen, we can't let you into the city, but I'll give you a tip. It's completely free of charge. Stay well away from the forest in front of us. It's haunted by ferocious monsters.
And what's up?
Crawl back under your rock, you lowlife.
So yeah, we kind of look like a lowlife, but we can now enter the legit way by saying we brought some herbs for Constantino the Alchemist.
I'm bringing some herbs for Constantino the alchemist.
Really? Then you won't mind showing me what you brought. Looks good. All right, in you go. But don't cause any trouble. Understood? Move along.
And what's up?
Listen, you now have access to the city, but that doesn't mean you can do whatever you want around here. If you don't stick to the rules, you'll lose all your rights here.
Okey-dokey. So now we have access to this beautiful city.
That's the first I've heard of it.
We're gonna now talk to a very arrogant paladin, and I really want to point out that
That's all just gossip.
these walls are incredibly short for defensive walls. They should be 3 times as high, but
Halt, stranger. I am Lothar, paladin of the king and humble servant of Innos, your lord. Our commander, Lord Hagen, has entrusted me with the task of explaining to all newcomers the new laws which apply to all inhabitants of the city.
Since people have started simply vanishing all over this town, everyone needs to watch out that they don't suffer the same fate.
So the reason why the voice actor just changed is because we're playing Night of the Raven, which is basically an expansion. So when they recorded the new lines for the same character, they couldn't always get the same actor, or they couldn't exactly mimic the same accents the actor had, because, you know, voice actors sometimes forget their accents, or the audio balance is not the same.
I have an important message for the leader of the Paladins.
The Honorable Lord Hagen is not receiving anyone. Lord Andre, the commander of the city guard, is responsible for all issues pertaining to the common folk.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Listen, the city is threatened by dragons.
That can't be true. Another lunatic. We have enough unrest in the city as it is. And without some dimwit scaring people with fairy tales about dragons. I immediately locked up the last person who was here telling dragon tales and sent him to the Valley of Mines with the prison transport. So mind your tongue. We can't use anyone here who spreads panic among the people.
We can only wait and see.
Somebody already reported the dragons here?
Yes. The fellow's name was Diego.
Only wait and see.
I think so, in any case. I warned him just like you. But the lunatic just wouldn't stop getting on my nerves.
Wait and see.
So we know Diego, he's one of our oldest friends, and we can actually see he was a good guy if he tried to warn them. So he might be a thief and, you know, a con man, but he does have the interest of the people at heart.
I have come to get the Eye of Innos.
The Sacred Eye of Innos? How do you know about that? You're not a member of the Order.
A magician told me about it.
I don't know what his motives were when he entrusted one of the secrets of our Order to you. But he certainly didn't mean for you to get your fingers on it.
But
I don't want to hear any more about it. First you start with fairy tales about dragons, and then this. Incredible.
That doesn't surprise me.
the townspeople are simply disappearing?
Yes, it seems to be more every day. It's most annoying that the militia have still not been able to discover what's behind these strange occurrences. Small wonder that the town's inhabitants are very wary of strangers right now. So don't provoke them when you're in town. Understood?
All right. Explain the rules of the city to me.
First, the Honorable Paladin Lord Hagen resides in the upper quarter, along with his troops. That is why access to the upper quarter is allowed only to honorable citizens. Second, the town hall in the upper quarter is now the command post of the Paladins. Only the Paladins themselves and members of the militia have access to it. And third, whoever is accused of a crime must exonerate himself with the commander of the militia. Any questions?
You hardly know who to believe.
How do I become a citizen of the town?
Only those with regular jobs will be considered citizens of the town. But don't think that you'll be admitted to Lord Hagen just because you're a citizen of the town. As a citizen, you have access to the upper quarter, nothing more. Only as a member of the militia will you have access to the town hall.
Where can I find work?
You'll have to apply as an apprentice to one of the masters here in the lower part of the city. As soon as a master accepts you, you are a citizen of the town. However, the other masters must agree to it. That's the custom here in Khorinis. If you were thinking about looking for work in the Harbor District, forget it. The scum of the city live there. Don't even go there. You would regret it.
How do I get to the upper quarter?
Say, are you listening to me at all? You're not a citizen of this town. You can save yourself the trip. The guards won't let you in. The entire area behind the inner gate is off limits to you.
How do I get accepted into the militia?
By express command of Lord Hagen, only citizens of the town will be admitted into the militia.
I see.
If you want to know more, speak to Lord Andre in the barracks.
What do I have to do to get armor like yours?
What? You aren't even a member of the militia. You're not even a citizen. How can you even think of being allowed to wear the armor of a paladin? Only a few militia soldiers, those who have performed extraordinary deeds, have been granted that honor so far. If you want to be a paladin, you have a long road ahead of you, my boy.
And that's a pretty cool armor, by the way.
Where can I find the commander of the city guard?
Lord Andre can be found in the barracks at the other end of the city.
Where can I spend the night here?
If you're looking for a place to sleep, go to the hotel directly across from the barracks. The paladins pay for the lodging of all travelers who come to the city. The traveling traders from the marketplace are also lodged there.
I've got to go.
If I hear one more time that you are telling people here about dragons, you will be in big trouble. Do I make myself clear?
Wait a minute.
You can talk to Lord Andre about everything else.
Wait a minute.
You can talk.
Okay, so we finally made it into the city, and we've talked to this insufferable paladin. Now let's take it one NPC at a time, shall we?
Nobody ever asked for more. Halt! No one may enter the storeroom!
That's all just gossip.
Why can't anyone enter the storeroom?
The Honorable Lord Hagen has confiscated the goods for the King's army.
That was obvious all along.
So nobody believes us that there are dragons about to attack the city, and there's a host of orcs, the Valley of Mines, which makes sense. I mean, look at us. We're basically dressed in rags. We have some terrible brown rags that seem to be falling apart at the seams. Super realistic that nobody actually believes us. I mean, I don't know what the hell Zardes was thinking, especially with building a huge-ass tower that can be seen for halfway through the map.
Hello, stranger. You must be hungry and thirsty. Perhaps I can interest you in my wares.
A tower, which, by the way, he also tells us, you know, don't tell any magician I'm here, while at the same time making the most obvious structure on the island so everybody can see where you live.
He doesn't see that.
I was actually on my way to see the paladins.
There's little chance of that. Since the paladins made themselves at home in the upper end of town, hardly anyone gets in there anymore.
Can you help me get into the upper quarter?
Me? Nah, I don't have much say here myself. There are a few people in the lower city who have enough influence to get you past the guards. Mateo, my boss, is one of them. Maybe you should talk to him.
Where can I find Mateo?
You're standing right outside his shop. Just go on in. He's practically always there.
What about the other influential citizens?
The merchants and master craftsmen here on the main street are the most important figures in the city. You should try to get accepted by one of them as an apprentice like me. Since I started working for Mateo, the people in the city treat me with respect.
Where did you pick that up then?
I need some money, and I'm looking for work.
I've heard that Bosper has trouble with his suppliers. His shop is right over there. They say he pays pretty well.
What do you have to offer?
At the moment, I don't have much choice. The damned landowner doesn't deliver anymore. And what we get from the small farms isn't enough to meet the demands of the city.
Tell me more about the peasants' revolt.
It's quite simple. Onar, the fat landowner, won't pay any more taxes to the city. Imagine, we're at war with the orcs, and that fat slob wants everything for himself. Normally, the city guard would take firm measures in such cases. But now comes the best part. They say Onar has hired mercenaries to keep the troops from the city off his back. Mercenaries. The whole thing will end in a damn war, as if one war weren't enough.
That's the first I've heard of it.
What do you know about Onar's mercenaries?
I heard that most of them are former convicts from the mining colony. And their leader's supposed to have been a big shot with the king, a general or something, whom they put away as a traitor. These are terrible times.
Show me your wares.
He doesn't see that.
Okay, so later on we're gonna buy his stock, but right now we need gold. Now, let's just check
That's all
something
just
real
gossip.
quick. Okay, I was doing some laundry, and let's talk to more NPCs, shall we? So, one of the first few people you want to talk to is Mateo,
What can I do for you?
which I think has a Jersey accent or a Boston accent.
What are you selling?
I can offer you everything you need to survive in the wild. Weapons, torches, provisions, even armor. I still have a special piece in stock. Double hardened armor of snapper leather, still unused. Interested?
What is that in American Jewish accent? I can't really place it. So you can buy his armor if you want, but there is a way better way to get free armor.
What do you know about paladins?
Since these bastards have come to the city, I've had nothing but trouble. The last time I was headed for the upper end of town, the guards flat out stopped me and asked me what was my business there.
And?
Of course they let me in. I had my shop in the city when most of those pompous asses were still chasing pigs with wooden swords. And yesterday, the bastards came and confiscated half of my goods.
The paladins seized your goods.
Everything I had stored in the backyard. They simply posted a guard in front of the entrance to the yard. If I'm lucky, they won't take everything. At least they might leave the armor here.
Okay, so that's an interesting piece of information we're just gonna use right now. Now, you can actually make it to the back of this storeroom. It's not an easy way to make it. We need to do a very specific jump. The jump is possible. So, just putting it out there right now, the jump is possible. So one way we need to get... Oh, it's raining already. Lovely. Okay. We need to make it to this rooftop right here. And I think an alternate route is to simply... I think we can't actually climb... Yeah, we can't actually climb this tall. Would be way too easy. So I'm just gonna cut the video quickly, just to where we make the jump. Almost had it. And we finally made the jump. Fell down once, doesn't really matter. It's important that we made the jump. That's the only real important part. And now we can pop one more healing plant. Okie dokie. And now we're at the back of the storeroom, so we don't have access to sneaking just yet, but it doesn't really matter. He's not gonna see us. And what do we find right here? Some mandibles we can sell. Torches, sure, not that valuable. And leather armor, which costs 250 gold coins. That's freaking awesome. And this other chest we have citizens' clothing, which is also really valuable. Some food. And some lab water bottles. Awesome. So we just basically got a huge upgrade to our armor and stuff. Now you really need to be careful when you make the jump down here. Okay. Leather armor. It doesn't look amazing, to be honest. Don't really love the model. But it's armor, right? Like, how can we complain? And the only thing that I'm kind of sad is that he doesn't really make any comment towards us. Let's just save the game. That we're wearing his inventory.
Can you help me get into the upper quarter?
What? What are you going to do there?
I've got an important message.
Well, well. Have you tried getting past the guards?
I don't see why I should even try.
You're probably right. I don't know how important your message is, but
Actually, now before we're gonna talk to Matteo again, let's see what happens if we try to get past the guards, shall we?
Halt! Only the citizens of the town and the king's troops can get into the upper end of the town.
I carry an important message for Lord Hagen.
Half the city wants to speak to Lord Hagen on important matters. If we let in every petitioner, he wouldn't have anything to do but deal with the petty problems of the townspeople.
Couldn't we make an exception?
What? There are rules in this town. Rules that apply to everyone without exception. If we let you break those rules, it would be unfair towards all those who obey them.
I'm a respected citizen of Khorinis. Let me pass.
You are the dirt under my fingernails. Make yourself scarce.
It can't go on like this forever.
So how are things?
Hey, don't try pulling that "so how are things" number here. Just get out of my sight, okay?
Okie dokie, so pretty much nobody likes this, which is reminiscent of Gothic 1. Paladins are incredibly arrogant and assholes, and I think this is a perfect moment to end the video right here before we talk to the citizens of Khorinis. So I want to wish you guys a wonderful day, and if it just so happens it's going to be one of those bad days for you, one of those tough days, I want to wish you the strength and wisdom to overcome it as best as you can, because sometimes that's just enough. If you like the video, any help you give would be awesome. I have a Patreon and also buy me a coffee account if you really want to support the channel. But even if you don't, I still think you're still awesome, because I really love good games and stories and want to share them with you guys. So remember, the most important story in life is your own. Take care, guys.